this whole, consciousness itself. Within that, we have all these bodies of possibility. Supramental, mental, vital, and physical. Our experiences come when consciousness chooses from each of these worlds of possibilities, making an actual event. So when consciousness chooses from this vital morphogenetic field possibilities, making an actual movement that we call a particular vital energy, how do we experience it? Now we will recognize. We experience it as feeling. That's what we call feeling. Of course, we don't really experience feeling directly at first. We experience feeling mixed up with thought. We call it emotion. Emotion is thought plus feeling. And now many of you will immediately say, aha, now I get it. If I am very careful, when my emotions are arising, I can feel a part of the emotion in my body, viscerally. In fact, one of the emotions is very easy to discern in the body. This is the emotion that everybody in the world, even today, even in this materialist age, recognizes. I'm, of course, talking about the emotion of love. And we experience it in the heart. But when we say that, we don't mean the physical heart. We mean the heart chakra. We mean the heart chakra. It's a region of the body. The speaker before me showed the aura of the heart chakra. You know, when it's contracted, it's little. It's even smaller than the physical heart. But did you notice that how it became big when it's not contracted, when the health is back? And then when they take picture of people who really are liberated and what we call sages, like I mentioned Aurobindo, there was another sage not very far from here named Ramana Maharshi who used to say that, well, myself is in the heart, really. He was so evolved that he felt that his self is actually in the heart. He insisted, why are you looking for the self in the brain? It's in the heart. And indeed, many, many traditions go along with it, including Hinduism and Christianity, where the heart is respected that way. If you go into ancient pictures of Jesus, there is a showing of Jesus' picture with heart of Jesus. Exactly like what Ramana Maharshi says. Huge heart. Heart of Jesus. Jesus stands like this, as in the statue in Rio de Janeiro. Some of you may have seen it. Wonderful statue. And the heart is wide open with lotus flowers. Chakras. Heart chakra. So when we say science of the heart, we must not be foolish enough to say that it's science of the pump. Heart is a pump. Let's face it. We can replace this pump with artificial pump and we can still function. Have you ever talked to a person with artificial pump? Well, I have not either, but I suspect that if we did and asked the person, can you love? Now that you have an artificial pump made of steel, can you love? And the person says, what's wrong with you? Of course I can love. No, love is not in the physical heart. It's something else. But yes, heart chakra, that's where we feel the emotion of love, no question about it. The feeling component of the emotion of love is in the heart. Pain of strain may be in the brain, but pain of grief is in the heart. No doubt about it. And grief is absence of this energy that we call love. Grief is the acknowledgement. I cannot have love anymore in my life. And that's when heart is contracted. The heart chakra energy is very feeble. That's what you saw in that. That's what you saw in that picture of the auras. So what is going on? Well, what is going on is actually only a little bit complex, but this is what is going on. What is going on is that the heart, that region, has a whole bunch of organs. It has part of the immune system, a very major part. The immune system is the second most important system in our body, only second to the brain. Not all of it exists in the heart chakra. Some of it is in the navel chakra as well. But the heart chakra has what is called the thymus gland. And this gland is very significant because it distinguishes between me and not me. What is you and what is not you? If a virus or a bacteria enters your body, it is the immune system, it's the thymus gland which will tell that, well, this is an intruder, this is not me. And therefore, the attackers will attack and try to kill this intruder. Our body does not like any intrusion whatsoever. It has integrity. Immune system comes about if one tries to penetrate the body. But of course, when we love someone, some of those relationships can be very romantic, where penetration is the objective. Let's face it. It's one objective. How does that happen? Well, think maybe when we have sex with a loving one, maybe the immune system is suspended. Maybe the immune system is suspended. So, could it be, can one make a model of love saying that, well, we have these chakras, we have the organs, every organ has a corresponding morphogenetic field that is correlated with it. That's a quantum language. That means non-local interaction is possible. Consciousness chooses simultaneously the state of the morphogenetic field associated with the immune system that is present in the heart chakra. So when I say I love you, what is happening is that temporarily my immune system functioning is suspended because love energy is activated in the morphogenetic field, which I am feeling as love, which translates into my body as the suspension of the immune system functioning of me versus not me. No distinction. This is why the liberal-minded says, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is my family. I have no distinction. I love everyone. We don't believe it. We say, how can that be possible? Because we have not understood that the immune system functioning can be suspended, which we of course do, but we have not understood that before, that we do. We do it in romantic love. This is why all sages have always aggrandized romantic love. Love God as you love your romantic partner. How many times have we told? Because when we can suspend the immune system with anyone, it is like loving God. It is like loving everyone. It is like suspending ourselves into that non-local ocean of consciousness. It is like that. We want to be there, but of course, we can't. Other things enter. And what I want to take you through now is the procedure to do better, to enter a path which is called Bhakti Yoga in India, but of course, devotional path in Christianity, and many other religions, by the way. Islam, by the way, is actually a bhakti path, as surprising as it is considering what the terrorists do today. But don't condemn the religion because of that, because religion is fantastic. It really glorifies love, the heart. So what did the religions know that we we don't today. Religion somehow knew that this heart chakra is a very important part of the human constitution. We are discovering it. Now, to what extent can we go in this discovery? This is the next question. And of course, the title of my talk has something with cancer in it. That is very important too. So let me go into that first, and then I'll come back to the spiritual question. So the connection with cancer is that functioning of the immune system. Why isn't cancer? Anyone who knows, and of course all of you do because all of you are erudite people. I went into a very simple version of quantum physics because although you are erudite, but your knowledge of quantum physics may be zilch. So I always talk in a very simple terms, but of course in medical terms you are all very sophisticated. So you know what immune system does to cells which are potentially cancerous, and that means that these cells do not obey what scientists call Hayflick effect. All cells have a finite number of times that it can divide. The scientist named Hayflick discovered that it's about 50. A cell can divide about 50 times, after which it doesn't divide anymore. It's sort of gone out of the system, out of the equation of life. Now, these cells, abnormal cells in the body, somehow disobey this Hayflick rule. Some cells of the body all of a sudden start dividing like there is no end to it. Greedy cells have found the potion of immortality somehow. They go on dividing and dividing and dividing. Abnormal cells. And this is what the immune system prevents us to suffer from these abnormally growing cells because it kills off these cells. Immune system recognizes, in the form of thymus gland again, recognizes that, look, this cell is not me, and therefore we must get busy and kill these cells off. And when the immune system is healthy, that is the case. But if the immune system is not functioning well, if the immune system is unhealthy, what then? You see, we have to worry. What keeps the immune system healthy? Now here is some other recent observation becomes very helpful. People have noticed that the immune system has a certain degree of autonomy, just as the neocortex, which of course represent the mind and also represents consciousness itself in the form of ourselves. Autonomy. And autonomous system, if we have to take guidance from the neocortex, there is something that the neocortex does which is absolutely unique in the body. Unique. This neocortex, and scientists cannot to this day find an explanation of why, neocortex needs to sleep. Every day, in 24 hours, it will go to sleep for about 8 hours. Why? It's a machine. Machines don't need sleep. You can put them to sleep. You can always pull the plug. But you don't have to. Of course, electricity goes off anyway in Bangalore and its vicinities, but that's not the point. It didn't have to go off. If it doesn't go off, a machine can go on forever. Why does the neocortex need sleep if it is just a machine, if the body and the brain are just machines? One explanation, of course, is that, well, neocortex has to represent consciousness, and that's a big job. Making a representation of consciousness is a very tiring job. You can appreciate that. Anyone who has meditated knows that keeping conscious is a very tiring job, not easy. Tendency is to go to sleep, become unaware. So sleep is necessary for consciousness to regain the wholeness. In sleep, we lose the subject-object split that neocortex brings about because of the peculiar construction of the brain. It's not just a material body. It has peculiarities in it that most material bodies don't. So that it can represent consciousness as a self. So we ask the question, really? So the autonomy of the immune system, could that be due to such a thing as the idea of representing something as a self, representing consciousness perhaps as a self? Well, this question is going to be vital in the later part, but right now let's concentrate on the fact that maybe the immune system needs rest like neocortex does. And what gives the immune system rest? It's loving. Sleeping gives rest to the neocortex, and loving gives rest to the immune system. And if we don't love, what happens when you don't sleep? Have you noticed? Of course you have. All of us have insomnia, to dealing with the problems of modern life, anxiety. And then what happens? You don't function very well. Could it be that similarly, when the immune system is not getting its rest, the immune system will malfunction, just as this brain malfunctions when we are not sleeping? So a loveless immune system will malfunction. Show me a loveless immune system, I'll show you a malfunctioning immune system. And malfunctioning immune system will not kill off the cancerous cells, so there you go. Connection of immune system with cancer. If the immune system functions well, then at least this aspect of cancer prevention is solved. Does not mean that all cancer will be gone. Cancer may have more than one cause. Because of course there is also this, why certain cells have this immortality whereas other cells don't. There is that question too. It's not just the immune system. Immune system is just one aspect of the thing. So you have to be very open-minded. Only some types of cancer might be malfunctioning of the immune system. Especially I suspect that women's breast cancer particularly has much to do with malfunctioning immune system. Because I think there is a correlation between grieving women and breast cancer. This grieving phenomenon is a very unfortunate social custom that we have in India and